I know so much more about you, Alicia. I paid good money for the intel I got on you. And it was worth every penny.
Alicia Keys finally let the truth slip. Not through her voice, but in the contracts she signed, the hush she maintained, and the spotless image the industry guarded like gold. From the jump, Clive Davis had her career in a chokehold, shaping her every note and controlling the story that fans thought was hers. Then came Jay-Z, standing tall as her public cosign, while the real power moves stayed hidden in the shadows.
Well, she's a no-brainer. She has stunning beauty. She writes all her own songs. She's really the most gifted young female talent around.
No matter what storm hit, the affair whispers, the staged empowerment campaigns, or the firestorm over Saudi Arabia, Alicia never cracked the mask. The star known for keeping it real spent 20 years living a script she couldn't escape.
Please welcome the incredibly special Alicia Keys.
Hi.
Can you describe how Jay-Z approached you?
And here's the twist. In 2009, Jay dropped Empire State of Mind, one of his biggest records ever. But Alicia, she wasn't even supposed to be there. The writers, Angela Hunter and Janet Sewell Pick, had another voice in mind. And insiders swear Jay's first pick was Mary J. Blige. Imagine how different that track would have been.
I'm here to honor one of the greatest that's ever done it. And I'm also here because before anything else, I was a true fan of your music, Jay.
Mary J. Blige had even performed an early version of the track live before the official release. But Jay-Z suddenly switched direction. And that's when Alicia Keys finally got the call. Except it wasn't smooth at all. In a 2023 interview with M94.7, Alicia herself admitted that Jay struggled to reach her and nearly gave up on her entirely. When she finally jumped in, the industry machine wasted no time. The record exploded. 9 times platinum, 2 Grammys, stadium performances at the World Series and VMAs, and it stamped itself as the anthem of New York hip-hop for a whole generation.
But I actually had to record it a couple times. The first time I recorded it in LA, and it just didn't work. I thought it worked. I thought it sounded good, but he called me and he was like, you think you're gonna be able to do them vocals again? And I was like, what?
But while the world celebrated, whispers spread in the background. Some insiders claimed Alicia's spot wasn't just about her voice, it was about her growing personal connection with Jay-Z. Here's the kicker. Alicia wasn't even a Rock Nation artist. She wasn't signed under Jay. Yet suddenly, one of his most legendary records linked her to him forever. At the same time, she was still under the tight grip of Clive Davis, the man who crafted her debut and micromanaged every inch of her image. And that's where Jaguar Wright stormed in. Jaguar went on a fiery rant about Alicia Keys, accusing her of wrecking homes and snatching men. She claimed Alicia had been sneaking around with Swizz Beatz while he was still married, saying Keys stole him from his wife and left nothing but pain and chaos behind. Jaguar Wright didn't just stop with the Swizz Beatz allegations. She went even deeper. She dragged in a man named Antonio Gordon, claiming that both she and Alicia had been romantically linked to him. According to Wright, Alicia treated Gordon so badly it left him scarred, and the breaking point came when he allegedly caught her in bed with another man. That's the kind of chaos Wright painted when she spoke on Alicia's past. But the drama didn't stop there. Wright accused Clive Davis himself of pulling strings behind the scenes. She claimed Davis pressured Alicia to make certain moves, even suggesting her career was threatened if she didn't play along. That's a bold accusation, pointing to an industry where stars aren't just guided, but pushed into choices that serve the power players above them. Wright didn't just attack Alicia's relationships, she came for her entire image. She accused Keys of pretending to be something she wasn't, hiding her real self behind carefully crafted PR campaigns. Wright even alleged Alicia staged high-profile romances with men just to bury questions about her true sexuality.
I'm loving it, I'm feeling centered, I'm feeling powerful, I'm feeling clear.
And you're looking gorgeous. I mean, part of that is it's internal, but it's external too. You've just kind of started a movement here.
Then came the personal jabs. Jaguar recalled an incident at BB King's where she mocked Alicia's acne right to her face, throwing insults and even challenging her to a physical fight, swearing she'd win. The rant was wild, unfiltered, and nothing short of a full-on takedown. Through it all, Alicia didn't blink. No responses, no clapbacks, no messy interviews. She stayed in performance mode, racking up awards, keeping her brand polished, but fans noticed the timing. That Empire State of Mind moment came right as Alicia's popularity exploded, and suddenly she wasn't just an R&B newcomer anymore. She was center stage, backed by Clive Davis and Jay-Z, two of the most powerful men in music. Alicia's side of the story goes like this. Jay-Z struggled to even reach her, but Jaguar Wright flips it, saying Jay never had to pick up the phone because Clive Davis had already locked the decision in. Either way, the outcome didn't change. A call was made, a song was recorded, and a rumor that's still alive today was born. Before Alicia Keys became a household name, she was just a teenager with a demo tape and a dream. The man who grabbed hold of that dream and refused to let go was Clive Davis. This was the same Clive who had already molded icons like Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, and Janis Joplin. So when he discovered Alicia, he didn't just sign her, he built her from the ground up. What Alicia describes as support, many have labeled flat-out control. She was only 19 when she inked a deal with J Records, Clive's brand new label. He scrapped her original album, delayed the release, and repackaged it into something safer. He polished her sound, softened her edges, and pushed her into the adult contemporary lane that he believed would sell. Her braids, piano, modest style. It all built an image that felt authentic, but was carefully manufactured. Her lyrics carried themes of heartbreak, empowerment, and struggle, but never rebellion. Critics caught the pattern fast. She wasn't raw like Lauryn Hill. She wasn't bold like Beyoncé. She was clean, respectable, untouchable, and that was no accident. By the time Songs in a Minor dropped in 2001, Alicia wasn't just an R&B star. She was a crossover juggernaut. 12 million albums sold, 5 Grammys, a brand new darling of the industry, and Clive was always standing close by. But with every success came new whispers. Other artists grumbled that Clive had chosen favorites, pouring resources into Alicia while shelving careers that didn't fit his plans. And when Jaguar Wright later accused Clive of weaponizing Alicia, placing her in the spotlight while others got quietly blackballed, those old rumors came roaring back into focus. What's clear is that Clive Davis didn't just promote Alicia, he engineered her. He rolled out her debut like a perfectly staged political campaign. No scandals, no surprises, just polished talent wrapped in media-friendly charm. And his control didn't stop at the music. Alicia kept her head down on industry politics. She stayed out of rap beefs. And for years, she refused to engage with whispers about backroom deals or messy rumors about her love life. To many, that silence wasn't weakness. It was strategy. Insiders claimed Clive molded her into the safe bet, an artist built to be unproblematic, someone who'd never rocked the boat because the system had already handed her a seat at the table. Even when the gossip linked her to Jay-Z or accused her of being one of Clive's pawns in industry games, Alicia said nothing. No denials, no clapbacks, just silence. And in a business overflowing with noise, that silence rang louder than any diss track. By her mid-20s, Alicia was everywhere. The Grammys, magazine covers, international stages, even global humanitarian events. And who was always right there in the wings? Clive Davis. He introduced her at awards shows, attached his name to every milestone, and made sure her image stayed flawless. To some, that loyalty looked like mentorship. To others, it felt like dependence, a superstar who could only shine under Clive's watchful eye. Now, as Jaguar Wright accuses Clive of manipulation, critics are raising sharper questions. Was Alicia really the one steering her career? Or did she learn how to survive by letting the industry giants pull every string? By the time she linked up with Swizz Beatz, Alicia's public image wasn't just strong, it was untouchable. She had become the industry's golden child, and every glossy magazine cover crowned her as the perfect star. Alicia Keys had become the industry's darling. Every award show rolled out the red carpet for her. But when word spread that she was dating producer Swizz Beatz while he was still married, that flawless image cracked, and the backlash never really healed. The receipts told the story. Swizz married Mashonda in 2004. They welcomed a son in 2006. By 2008, he had also fathered a daughter with another woman, Jonna Sebastian, all while still legally tied to Mashonda. But it was Alicia's involvement that set off the biggest explosion. Reports say Alicia and Swizz started dating in late 2008. Swizz insisted he was separated, but the divorce papers weren't finalized. And when cozy photos of the pair started circulating online, Mashonda had had enough. In September 2009, Mashonda went public with an open letter that she posted online, addressed straight to Alicia Keys. She didn't hold back. If you are reading this, Alicia, let me start by saying, you know what you did, you know the role you played, and you know how you contributed to the ending of my marriage. That single line shook the entire industry. For the first time, someone directly challenged Alicia Keys, and did it with evidence. Alicia, however, stayed silent. No interviews, no statements, nothing. Meanwhile, the internet tore itself apart. Some branded her a homewrecker, while others defended her, claiming Mashonda's marriage was already falling apart long before Alicia entered the picture. But no matter which side people took, the damage was done. In 2010, Swizz and Mashonda's divorce was finalized. That same year, Alicia married Swizz, and months later gave birth to their first child, Egypt. The timeline was razor tight. Too tight for many fans to ever believe it was all clean. 4 years later, Alicia and Swizz welcomed their second son, Genesis. On the outside, they looked like a picture-perfect family. Smiling photos, luxury vacations, red carpet appearances. But behind the polished image, the affair rumors never died. Mashonda never backed down. In interviews and even in her own memoir, she stuck to her story. Alicia didn't come in after the marriage crumbled. She helped break it apart. And that's where the contradiction stung. Alicia had built her brand on integrity, sisterhood, empowerment, and a calm, spiritual energy. Suddenly, she was being accused of playing the exact opposite role. For an artist who had avoided scandal for her entire career, this was the one that never seemed to fade. Her silence protected her image, but it didn't erase the memory. Fans couldn't forget, and critics whispered that her refusal to address it head-on made the rumors feel even more real. By 2020, it seemed like everyone had finally moved forward. Alicia, Swizz, and Mashonda were suddenly smiling in family photos together, showing off a blended unit that looked supportive and healthy. They co-parented, they posted, they even celebrated milestones together. But the internet never forgets, and people still asked, if Alicia could stay quiet through that, what else had she chosen to stay silent about? Then came another bold moment. In 2016, Alicia made a move that shifted the spotlight away from her music and onto her image. She arrived at the BET Awards with no makeup, no foundation, no lipstick, no concealer, not even mascara. For Hollywood, that was a shockwave. The glam red carpet look was practically a requirement, and here was Alicia showing up barefaced and unapologetic. Within hours, photos went viral. Some fans praised her as brave and empowering, calling it a powerful message in an industry obsessed with perfection. Others weren't convinced, but Alicia doubled down, penning a personal essay through Lenny Letter where she spelled out exactly why she did it. Alicia said she was exhausted, tired of the pressure, tired of the masks, tired of being judged for how she looked instead of who she was. In her own words, "I don't want to cover up anymore. Not my face, not my mind, not my soul, not my thoughts." That essay blew up overnight. Media outlets praised her for challenging beauty standards. Feminist groups, influencers, even lifestyle brands pushed the #no makeup hashtag into the spotlight. Suddenly, women everywhere were posting barefaced selfies in solidarity. For a moment, Alicia was celebrated not for her voice, but for her face. Untouched, raw, and powerful. But then the cracks started showing. Just months after becoming the poster child for makeup-free living, Alicia appeared in promo shoots, music videos, and public events looking noticeably more polished. The glow was still there, but now it seemed enhanced. Viewers began pointing out that her natural look still looked like it involved light foundation, bronzer, tinted balm, and even professional skin treatments. And it wasn't the makeup that bothered people. It was the contradiction. Critics argued Alicia had packaged authenticity into a brand, turning a personal choice into a strategic marketing move that set her apart from the heavy glam Instagram filter era. The backlash grew louder when beauty insiders joined the conversation. Articles popped up with titles like, "Is Alicia Keys really makeup-free?" and "The Truth Behind the No Makeup Look." On The Voice, where she sat as a judge, viewers zoomed in on screenshots, highlighting what looked like hints of blush, contour, or tinted moisturizer. What had started as a raw statement had now morphed into a polished campaign. And Alicia didn't exactly clear things up. In later interviews, she pivoted. She claimed she was never anti-makeup, just pro-choice, insisting her goal was to empower women to choose for themselves. But to critics, it sounded like backtracking, a movement born in rebellion now packaged as safe branding. The issue was simple. Her original essay in Lenny Letter wasn't written like a casual lifestyle choice. It read like a full-blown manifesto. Alicia had painted makeup as a symbol of oppression, something she felt truly freed from. But when she later stepped out looking nearly full glam while still calling it no makeup, fans felt tricked. The backlash hit hard. Supporters who once celebrated her started pulling back. Some called her performative. Others said she had every right to change her mind, but should have admitted the movement wasn't what it started as. Then came the privilege argument. Alicia has access to luxury skincare, wellness coaches, nutritionists. Going makeup-free is a lot easier when you can afford flawless skin treatments. Critics argued that for everyday women grinding through long hours and stress, her message felt out of touch. What began as a bold, empowering stance started looking disconnected from reality. And for Alicia Keys, whose whole brand had been built on honesty, authenticity, and simplicity, the backlash wasn't really about eyeliner. It was about trust. Fans questioned whether her image was real or just another carefully managed storyline. Then in early 2024, Alicia made headlines again. But this time, the reaction wasn't celebration. She flew to Saudi Arabia to perform and headline a women's summit. On the surface, it looked like another milestone in her campaign for empowerment and self-expression. But to many watching, it felt like the opposite. The summit was held in Riyadh, the heart of a nation long criticized for its treatment of women. This was a country that had jailed female activists, enforced male guardianship laws, and silenced dissent with brutal crackdowns. For critics, Alicia's presence didn't read as progress. It read as complicity. Critics wasted no time calling out the hypocrisy. A women's empowerment summit in a country where women had only just earned the right to drive, and where speaking out against the government could still get you locked up. Or worse, and there was Alicia Keys on stage, smiling, singing, and talking about the power of women and global unity. The backlash was instant. Activists and human rights groups slammed her. Some accused her of helping Saudi Arabia run a slick PR campaign, cultural whitewashing designed to mask oppression with a glamorous image of progress. Others said her presence gave the regime exactly what it craved, celebrity credibility without accountability. Fans didn't forget her past words. They remembered her no-makeup stance, her essays about feminism, liberation, and authenticity. And now they were holding up those words against her actions. How could someone who claimed to stand for truth and justice perform for a government with such a dark human rights record? The contradiction was impossible to ignore. What made things worse was Alicia's response, or rather, her lack of one. She shared glowing images from the summit on her social media, praising the women she met and celebrating progress. But not once did she mention the controversy. No acknowledgement of the political climate. No recognition of the imprisoned activists who weren't even allowed to attend. No statement of solidarity at all. And that silence? It spoke louder than her music. Because while Alicia was delivering speeches on stage for the cameras, women in that same country were still banned from speaking freely, still forced to seek male approval for basic choices, still stripped of rights she was publicly praising. To many fans, this wasn't just tone deaf. It felt like betrayal. Alicia had built her reputation on being real, standing for justice, refusing to play the industry's shady games. Yet here she was, caught playing one of the biggest political games of them all. The fallout was swift. Even celebrities began quietly distancing themselves. Several major artists who had long refused to perform in Saudi Arabia reposted statements reminding fans why they stayed away, citing the government's role in the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, the oppression of women, the silencing of LGBTQ+ communities, and its long history of brutal censorship. Meanwhile, Alicia Keys kept moving like nothing happened. No apology, no clarification, no reflection. She rolled out her projects as if the controversy didn't exist. But for critics, this wasn't about canceling her. It was about accountability. Because when you sell yourself as a voice for justice and then cash checks from regimes built on repression, people will question your authenticity. For years, Alicia had been packaged as one of the cleanest public figures in music. No arrests, no messy scandals, no rehab headlines, no TMZ meltdowns. Her image was spiritual, grounded, even untouchable. But behind that shine, whispers have always been there. Rumors of drug use, tension behind the scenes, and a carefully curated brand that may not tell the full story. At first, it was quiet industry chatter. Producers, engineers, and collaborators spoke off the record about moments where Alicia didn't seem as steady as the public saw. There were late arrivals to sessions, sudden mood swings, and cryptic hints about substances. Not in a wild party girl way, but in a hush-hush, keep it private kind of way. Nothing was ever confirmed, nobody went public, but the fact those whispers came from insiders, not fans, made them stick. Then came the live performance controversies. On more than one occasion, Alicia hit the stage looking distracted, distant, some even said dazed, and it fueled the rumors all over again. One of the most talked about slip-ups came during a 2019 award show. Fans noticed the transitions between her songs were off-tempo, her speech sounded slurred, and the usually flawless Alicia Keys looked scattered on stage. Twitter exploded that night with questions. Was she exhausted? Was it nerves? Or was there something deeper going on? As usual, Alicia never addressed it. That strategy might have worked in the 2000s, but today's fans aren't so forgiving. This new generation doesn't want vague press releases or polished PR spin. They demand transparency. But truth never came. Instead, Alicia leaned harder into her wellness branding. Yoga videos, meditation projects, incense-filled interviews, and music sprinkled with talk of energy healing and inner peace. To some, it was inspiring. To others, it looked like camouflage, a distraction from the cracks showing in her once unshakable image. Critics started to pick apart her entire brand. How did Alicia Keys go from a gritty, piano-driven New York artist to a luxury skincare, barefoot spiritual guru in less than a decade? Moves like that don't just happen. They're built. They pointed at Clive Davis, Swizz Beatz, corporate sponsors, media handlers, all the power players who had a stake in shaping her story. The barefaced photos, the empowerment essays, the polished silence, it all fit a pattern. Alicia would give just enough to stay celebrated, but never enough to make enemies. Her silence on industry abuse, her refusal to touch Jay-Z's mess, her vague but marketable statements about black female empowerment, every move calculated, every word safe. And then there's the control factor. Alicia insists she runs her own career, but when you really look at it, the fingerprints of Clive Davis, Swizz Beatz, even Rock Nation are all over her path. PR experts have long pointed out how quickly negative press about Alicia vanishes. Headlines reworded, blogs retracting stories, posts disappearing overnight. That's not luck, that's protection, and it's expensive. So when whispers circle about drug use, manipulation, or a carefully staged brand, the real question isn't just whether Alicia Keys is hiding something, it's whether the public ever truly knew her at all. But what do you think? Is Alicia the authentic star she claims to be, or just the product of powerful handlers? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to use the new YouTube Hype feature to boost this story. I'll see you on the next one.